Well, Frankie, it's Pride Month, so I'm taking over the cold open.
Wow.
Are you proud of me?
I'm so proud of you.
Tell me more. How proud of you?
I'm so proud of you. I've been waiting for this day. Okay. I
know Coy's proud of me.
Of
your whole
course
month,
he
man.
is. For the whole month.
Well, I say I'm taking over, but I'm going to make you guys talk more because I want to hear about your favorite queer storylines in DC Comics.
Okay. I'll start. The storyline isn't queer, but the main character is.
Okay.
It's Nubia and the Amazons.
Okay.
Nubia is Wonder Woman's sister, and she is the first Black woman superhero in comics history.
Oh, wow.
It's written by Stephanie Williams and Sveta Ayala, and the illustrator is Aletha Martinez. The story is really good. She becomes the queen of the Amazons. She's queer, and the art in it is so beautiful and dynamic and colorful and saturated. I absolutely love it. It also had its first trans Amazonian. So they made it canon that a trans woman can become an Amazon.
Okay.
Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very cool. So what do you got, Coy?
I got a big, old, overreaching storyline across multiple mediums. I love Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy anchoring each other in a really special way, whether it's the show obviously has really spotlighted that in a wonderful way, but what I really love is that in the comic books, Harley Quinn comics feel so different than the Poison Ivy comics, but in both of them, you see how and why they love each other in a very real, grounded way. So I always think of like relationships as the thing you go home to like find stability and sanity in a crazy world. And when you've got comic books, the crazy is sometimes real crazy, like the elevation. And what I love about these two different arcs is you've got the Poison Ivy book, which is very about, Poison Ivy being painted as an eco-terrorist versus how Batman perceives her, and you're coming from her perspective of just trying to save the planet. But then you've got Harley Quinn that she goes home to of like, yeah, I've been trying to save the planet and all this is going on. And she's the calm eye of the hurricane. And speaking of that fantastic Poison Ivy book, it actually won Outstanding Comic of 2022 for the GLAAD Awards, so it's definitely worth checking out. And then you've got Harley Quinn comics, which are like, I'm a psychiatrist that's trying to find my own sanity and taking care of all these villains, and I'm recruiting this new team, and I'm fighting gentrification, and I've got all this. But then she goes home to Poison Ivy, who's like, I made dinner. And I like the normalcy of their relationship and how those comics couldn't be more different, but the thing that keeps them real is them. And to me, that's what a relationship is. So that's my favorite.
And welcome back to DC Studio Showcase. I'm nerd commentator Frankie Smith.
I am Tyler Coates.
I'm comic correspondent Coy John Drope.
We have more interviews. Okay, for those of you at home who do not know, we got a chance to sit down in an undisclosed secret location with most of the cast of the upcoming Superman film that's coming out July 11th. Today, we got to sit down with Edi Gathegi, who plays Mr. Terrific.
A role he was born to play.
Also, most importantly, Coy's friend.
Coy's friend.
I love someone talented getting a role that is so perfect for it. I'm so happy for Eddie, dude.
And we also got a chance to sit down with María Gabriela de Faría, who plays the engineer. Very cool, villainy person.
Who is simultaneously the exact right person, but the opposite energy in a room. Like, you could see the transformation when she mentioned her, but like her jubilance was incredible.
And that is acting.
It is.
That is acting.
So both of these characters are pretty new to me. So who can you kind of give me an overview?
Yeah. So Mr. Terrific is, I don't want to call him Batman, but he is very cool, suave, very put together. He has 14 PhDs. He has swagger out the wazoo. Okay, there are many iterations that we see in Young Justice. He's also in Arrow. I love to plug in
Arrow.
the CW verse.
He's also my favorite part of Strange Adventures, which is this incredible comic that takes place from two different perspectives. And the way he's just represented as so capable and intelligent, but it never feels like it's a Deus Ex Machina. It never, sometimes when a character's smart, you're like, well, that's what the story needed. Like, this actually feels like, for me, Mr. Terrific always represents that incredible, like, what do you do if the smartest guy can't figure it out? And then he thinks his way through processes, so it encourages intelligence. And that's why I love Eddie as him, is because, as you'll see in the interview, the way Eddie articulates thought and the way that Eddie's thoughtful from an outside perspective is why when he was cast, I was like, oh, correct. Like, that's Eddie. So it's great.
And I think he's a perfect example on how your experiences mold and shape who you are and how you bring in things. There are plenty of geniuses. There are plenty of people who know a bunch of martial arts in this world. But Mr. Terrific is unique in his experiences and who he is. So we often see him being not just the voice of reason, but the person that everyone is turning to for answers, because he just has something that a lot of the characters just don't have. And it makes him so cool, so interesting. I feel like we've been seeing him a lot more recently.
Yeah, the last few years, I think Mr. Terrific's like getting to that point where household names are going to know him, especially after this movie.
Yeah.
I think like fair play is going to be everywhere. That jacket is going to be.
The jacket's going to be everywhere. Now, I do want to get into the engineer because honestly, I don't know much about the character. So, Coy, please
So
fill
she's
us
from
in.
the Authority, and the Authority was like a darker tinged gritty tone, but not dark and gritty for the sake of it. Like, you know, a lot of times in the early 2000s we were like, let's make it edgy.
Yeah.
I feel like the Authority actually found a beautiful way to walk that line that stood the test of time. So her power set is like nanotechnology that can form weapons. But what I find most interesting about the character is how she came to be. The engineer is a villain that absolutely wouldn't consider herself a villain. She would be a product of her environment. She would be doing what was necessary.
Right.
So I am curious how that character gets interpreted in Superman, because we're seeing a Lex Luthor that is trying to cope with Superman existing and trying to go like, this isn't what the world needs. And I'm wondering if the Authority is going to be a factor of, well, this is what was necessary with all these superpowers, what we need to do to keep things on an even keel. So the engineer, I think, is going to be a very interesting power set to combat a forming of superheroes.
Well, let's not just talk about it amongst ourselves. Let's roll the tape. We're starting off with Edi Gathegi. Eddie, I have to say that Coy can't stop talking about you. He said you guys are best friends. And he could.
That's generous. I wish he was my best friend.
You wish he was your best. That's so sweet.
He's the coolest comic book nerd I know.
Wow. Well, you're about to get to know me.
Oh, the gauntlet's been thrown.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the DC Studios Showcase. We're so excited to have you here as Mr. Terrific. Now, we have seen you as another superhero. Do you feel like this is your comeuppance, your time to really play one out?
Oh, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
It's too juicy.
It's too juicy. We're here for the juice.
I'm so happy that I get a redemption arc
Yeah,
in the new DC universe.
absolutely.
I'm excited to inspire a whole generation of young black kids with this new superhero. Mr. Terrific is so fantastic of a character, and there's so much potential.
Dude, I'm just so excited. This is someone who's into like rivals Batman's or is greater than. This is someone whose training is next level. This is someone who lives and breathes this peak physical condition. And I know you love comics like as much as I do. I know you're gonna be humble about it, but you're a comic man. What was it like to prepare? I know how serious you take your craft, to be someone of that intellect, of that physical ability. Like, what was the first step? Like, who'd you call first? How did this transition happen?
Well, as you know, Mr. Terrific has 14 PhDs, so my preparation was to learn my lines.
Oh,
Fair.
I thought you were going to say, I went to school.
You just can't really enter the body of somebody who's this accomplished. However, I did read everything that I could get my hands on. I trained for about 5 months. I just consumed all the animation, anything that had Mr. Terrific in it. I was trying to get my hands on it. But when you're preparing any role, your level of investment and your level of commitment is depending on the degree of unsparingness of the character. So if you have a character that calls for great prep, you try to do that. And I've never played a character that was a decathlete. So I was pushing my body to the limits just so I could feel like I did everything that I could. That I turned over every stone before stepping on that set, because the last thing that you want to do is step on a huge Hollywood production and feel like you don't deserve to be there. My thing was, if you do as much work as you can, you're going to feel confident when you step on that set.
I love to hear that. Now
Yeah.
you're saying you've seen all these depictions of Mr. Terrific. Which one was your favorite?
In Injustice, that's when I understood he was operating at a different level. Like, this guy can do anything.
Because he's like 5D chess if Batman's 4D chess.
Yes.
Well, I'm very curious to kind of go back to the very beginning of you as your origin story, your pop culture origin story, which is what we've
Okay.
been asking people. Do you remember like a movie or a TV show you watched as a kid, or even, as a young adult where you were like, the first obsession or the first thing you were like, I want to do that. I want to act on screen.
I didn't find acting as a kid.
Mhm.
I came into it pretty late in
Mm.
life, if you want to call the 20s late.
Yeah.
But looking back, there was something that I saw that probably I didn't have the articulation to understand technically what I was watching, but it was the first time I had seen excellence,
Mm.
and I had seen like the craft at its highest level, the commitment, and that was Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it was something. I mean, it's a two-hander,
Yeah.
but it's a two-hander with Daniel Day-Lewis in the score.
Yeah.
Trevor Jones's score is one of the most emotionally complex scores about fate and not being able to outrun it.
Mm.
It's fate chasing everybody through the mountains and never being able to outrun it. It's a beautiful piece of music, and in fact, it inspired me during COVID to learn the guitar just to play that song.
Wow.
Oh, that
And
is so
yeah,
cool.
and I don't know how to play it anymore because I haven't played the guitar. since COVID.
I
That's a
like
good
that.
goal.
Like pick up impossible habits feels so Mr. Terrific. Like I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna learn it. I got other stuff to learn.
He's got a natural aptitude for natural aptitudes. None of us have that.
Yeah.
So we can only
High
take it
bar.
so far. Yeah.
Did you learn any languages as well?
I was actually trying to teach myself Italian.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it came up in a future project, God willing,
Mhm.
then I could pitch maybe Italian is something that he has to engage with.
So it was like a Duolingo, or you a little more serious?
Listen, I tried Duolingo, and I'm not trying to throw shade on Duolingo, but they were trying to teach me phrases like "the boy eats the rice."
Which is something you're really going to talk about in Italian.
I,
for
Why
think,
sure.
wouldn't
I,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
The horse eats the rice. Il cavallo mangia il riso. Like,
No,
why-
that's a good
Why,
accent.
why do I need to know that the horse eats rice? So Duolingo, not so much. There was another language program that spoke to me a little bit more.
One of my favorite things about Mr. Terrific is the outfit, man, and I know that is like such an impactful, iconic experience. What do the pieces of that mean to you? Like that jacket to me is part of what makes
That
that
jacket is
character.
fire.
It is. Did you keep it?
Somebody just asked me that.
Yeah.
I don't typically steal my wardrobe.
But I feel like sometimes it's like you should steal the wardrobe.
Sometimes I should have stole the wardrobe.
Yeah,
There were
yeah.
multiple jackets, right? I mean,
There were multiple.
Look,
Yeah,
look
you
at
could-
us
they were
from
not gonna
DC
know
tell you
something's
like,
good.
why didn't you steal from
Yeah,
this
yeah. Why
company?
you didn't think it was hot? Why didn't you
Right.
steal from us?
yeah.
Maybe because of this, they'll give me the jacket. The jacket is so dope. I can't wait to see people rocking it in the streets.
Yeah.
You know?
And the face paint. That's some
Yeah.
of my
It's not
favorite
paint.
tea.
It's nanotechnology.
It's not. It's nanotechnology.
nanotech.
You're right. I was talking about
Yeah.
on side. I'm sorry. What was your conversation with James Gunn around the character and his impact on Superman?
I think one of the genius things about Air Director is he hires people that he believes are up to the task.
Mm.
So I just feel like if you're in a James Gunn movie, you didn't come to play. Like, you're going to do your work. You're going to make sure that you feel confident, like I mentioned before, when you step on that set. So you learn your lines. If you're a good actor, you learn your lines.
Yeah.
And you show up with the confidence that he chose you. So there's no time to fear. And then when you get on the set, it's true. It's a total spirit of play that this man has fostered. He's not afraid to dance in the zany, go off script, and play around. So you kind of find new things as you're working, in addition to what's scripted and what the story is.
I love that. And what do you feel like your version of Mr. Terrific is? Like, what's his personality like?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Because it's not the comics.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, it's based on the comics, and there's a lot of comic influences. But in terms of personality, I didn't even know what was going to happen until we did it.
Mm.
I had in my brain how I was going to play the part because I screen tested for the role. So when you screen test for a role and you get it, you assume that that's the way you're going to play it. So I showed up to set playing it that way, and it was in the playing that we found something that I think is a little bit more interesting,
Mm.
a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex. a little bit more unhinged.
I like that.
So Mr. Terrific, I feel like, I mean, comic books 2D, you can get deep and you can get complex, but humanity is more complex.
Yeah.
So I think Mr. Terrific just has more layers.
My last question for you, Eddie, and I got to know,
Yeah.
what does fair play mean to you?
Fair play, I'm going to answer is Mr. Terrific, sharing my tech with the world.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie, for joining us. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We're going to steal you from Koi.
Yeah, please.
Gauntlet's been
Sign,
thrown.
please.
I'm all your best friends now.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to tell everyone. I was not expecting a Last of the Mohicans. Shout out.
No.
I have a crazy origin story with it. Me and my mother went to a concert and we saw this artist. He was incredible. And as we were going home, she was like, yeah, he's one of the last of the Mohicans. And I was like, wow, what is that?
What does that even mean? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really great movie. I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. Daniel Day-Lewis is incredible. Madeline Stowe, who plays the female lead. A great movie where, also queer, both of the love interests have the same haircut. They both have long, beautiful brown hair. And that's why
love
they
that.
found love together.
Love
It's
that.
kind of like the least Michael Mann movie.
Is it?
Really?
Because it's like a it's like,
That's
you
true.
know,
And you can't shoot it digital and make it grainy.
right. Yeah. But it's still got some, I mean, as Eddie talked about, the score
Oh,
is incredible.
the way he was
so-
painting it was so exciting for me, having not seen it. I was like, oh, I've got that coming. Like, it was really
Yeah.
cool to hear. His love for that was so powerful. And I've been wanting to talk to him about fair play forever. So I'm just excited to see this.
He was great. He was great. And I love a good score. I work out to score movie
Okay.
scores. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, it feels like you're scoring your life. You know what I mean?
You're
And,
having
you know,
a montage. a
yes.
workout montage.
Exactly.
The Joker theme from Hans Zimmer's Dark Knight has gotten me through some dark times. So I feel
Really?
like that
I
one's
like-
like my
I
intensity
like
music.
the Penguins chase theme from Matt Reeves' Batman.
Okay.
It is a really good workout.
All right.
It is a really good running song. So if you guys at home, if you want to try that, be motivated, definitely check out.
And speaking of working out, both of our guests today, like Eddie got in insane shape for Mr. Terrific, and
Yeah.
so did our next guest. I love the fitness through line of this cast as a gym bro myself.
Yes, next up we have María Gabriela de Faría. She plays the engineer. Amazing conversation. I can't wait for you guys to watch. So let's get into it. I'm terrible at pronouncing literally everything.
Skylar
everything.
Gisondo was tough. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
really
take
got
this
to me. It really
There's
got
a
to me.
whole B-roll about
Yeah,
Skylar.
yeah. So feel free to correct me at any time.
Yeah.
I-
Don't worry. Okay,
you know?
I will do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm
my
not so
thing.
precious about my pronunciation of the name. It's fine.
Why? It's so beautiful.
Well, thank you, but I know it's very long, so I'm not like trying people to learn it exactly.
Right.
It's fine.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're so excited to be here with you today. María Gabriela de Faría, who plays Angela Spica?
We have been thinking about it, and we're not so sure. I say Spica.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because I'm Venezuelan and
Right.
I talk like that.
Well,
But
most
now
importantly,
she is too, though.
Mhm.
So
most
we'll go
importantly,
Spica.
she plays the engineer.
That's
who she
right.
is,
That's the
yeah.
name, the engineer.
So I've been starting out a lot of these interviews by asking everyone their kind of pop culture origin story. What's like the first movie or TV show that you remember watching as a kid that you were obsessed with, but also maybe we were like, that's something I want to do one day?
Yes, Matilda.
Oh.
So you remember that movie of
With
the kid
Mara
that
Wilson,
was
yeah.
yes, and I remember watching that movie over and over again because first time I saw a kid acting and leading a movie, and I loved it. And then she had powers, so I kept trying to move things with my mind and telling people that I could do it, but I was just too tired. That's part of that's one scene of the movie.
Right.
She tries to show her teacher that she can move stuff and then she can't. And then she's like, oh, I'm too tired. So I kept repeating that line over and over again. And that I know that movie by heart. And that's when I thought, I'm like, that's it. That's what I want to do. I love that
Well,
movie.
you were already acting right
I
there.
was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. But I was the daughter of the lead of the telenovela. Like I wasn't a lead. I didn't know that was a thing. And then at the same time that I watched that movie for the first time, this TV show came out and it was called mi pequeña mamá, like my little mom. So it was about this little girl that had the soul of an old woman, and she was also a witch. It was a lot about witches.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, it can totally be done. I can totally be that. Yeah.
Did you bring any like telenovela like lore into your character on
I mean,
Superman?
it's impossible not to. I was
Right.
raised by telenovelas. Like,
Yeah.
my parents were really young when they had me. My mom was 15 and
Oh,
my dad was
wow.
17. So, and they were working so much to make ends meet. So I was raised by telenovelas and doing telenovelas. Like, that's all I did since I was 5 until I left Venezuela when I was 15. So, yeah, I'm very telenovela. Like, it's my jam. I love that stuff. So kind of a bit of like the drama. I know that like James wanted, is James here? No. I
Like, is he here?
he wanted this character to be like really serious, like really like poker face, nothing ever happens to her. Oh, shit happens to her.
Mhm.
Like, she feels a lot and she's really emotional, and I think that's still in the telenovela
Yeah,
in me.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that brings strength to the character.
I
to
think
have
so
it.
too. Thank you.
You
There's a soap opera element, I think, to comics as well, right? Like there's a telenovela energy to the long,
For sure.
serialized nature. But in addition to this, you're in one of my top 3 far too early canceled shows of all time. Deadly Class means
Yes.
the world to me. It is truly one of the best pieces of TV of all time. I wonder, with the telenovela upbringing, going into that incredible Image indie comic, into this incredible character from The Authority, and so much darkness and lore,
Yeah.
how much do you think long-form content helping raise you informed how you see long-form content in comic books and translating that into your tool set as an actor?
When you do telenovelas, you never know what's happening next. They give you episodes like probably the day off, so you're always like, oh, motherfucker, what is this? And with comic books, it's kind of the same. The characters live many lives depending on what version is that. So like, I've seen the engineer do crazy stuff in different versions of The Authority. So it's the same with telenovelas. And for telenovelas, we do like 40 scenes a day, like
Wow.
Really?
35, 40 scenes a day. It's insane. So it gives me the workhorse kind of thing where I'm like, I can totally do this 1,000 times. I can learn my lines like this.
Right.
Like, it gives you a great work ethic, on top of it all.
Do you think the engineer watches novellas still?
That's a great question. Okay, you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like she has this facade. She's like,
It's like her guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
goes and
Right.
she hides from Lex and she watches telenovelas. Oh my God, I
lo-
love that.
Which novella would she watch?
Okay, so there was this telenovela that really informed my culture, and I don't remember the name, but it was about this set of twins. One was good and one was evil.
Classic.
Classic.
I was like, I don't know. That doesn't narrow it down.
It's amazing. And then the evil twin took over the place of the good twin. So it became about this telenovela wasn't about a good woman like finding love, how they, the majority of them are. It was about this evil witch, that was doing horrible things, and people loved it and went crazy for it. And on top of the lead that was also evil, there was the bad woman that kept pushing people down the stairs, and like they have memes of her that read like cries in Spanish, yells in Spanish. So I love that. I think she might just get inspiration from that.
It sounds like all these evil characters, this undercurrent, whether it's the engineer or Maria in Deadly Class. Like, I love that you're drawn to this, like, they're light and fluffy, but not up front.
They're not
Is
up
there
front.
something you seek out in your roles? Because, like, clearly you're full of joy and
Yeah.
exuberance right now. Do you like playing counter? Like, does it feel therapeutic to kind of put on the different mask?
Absolutely. And they're so different from me. I have this thing where I don't know why, but when I work out, people try and take my dumbbells.
Oh.
And I kept asking my husband, like, why is this happening to me? Why they don't even ask.
You just grab
They
them.
just grab them and they leave. And I feel like they know they can walk all over me and they just do it. So when I play these characters, I'm like, no. Like,
No
I
one's
have
stealing her
this inside of
dumbbells.
nobody's stealing the engineer's dumbbells, you know? So I love doing that because it helps me. And sometimes you do the engineer or you do Maria from Deadly Class and you keep stuff from those characters and you integrate them into your real person. And it's great. It gives you like a different side of that you didn't know about. I enjoy that so much. And going back to the telenovela is very telenovela. Like to be a villain. Oh, it's delicious. It's the best. And they have the best outfits, I find.
Oh, yes. Villains actually canonically
generally
always
speaking,
have
yeah.
great outfits. I like to finish off just asking, what is your relationship with Lex like? Your dynamic. Let's say your dynamic.
Okay, so you're asking about like official dynamic or what I told James that I
What you told,
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay, so I told James that okay, Angie really believes in this better world and probably she had some trauma when she was a kid that she felt the need to be part of that change.
Mm.
Whatever that means and whatever she had to do to make it happen. So she is a good person at heart that's extremely broken and is willing to team up with Lex to get rid of what he believes are, evil aliens, Superman. But then I also think that they have a secret relationship and I kept telling James, like, I feel like they and like Lex is so, he's so serious. And then he has this gorgeous girlfriend that he treats terribly. So I'm like, what if, like, after hours, engineer gets really mean with Lex and he loves it.
Wow.
Like
a Dom sub thing.
Yeah.
Lex would
Wow.
definitely have a Dom
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
be a sub.
I think that's how I play it.
Well, I'm
in my
looking forward to
mind.
that subtext.
Yeah, man. Now we're gonna watch this film. Totally different. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much
No,
for
thank
joining
you.
us. This was
Yes.
incredible. The film is coming out July 11th.
We're very excited for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am too. Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you.
It was really crazy to see Maria be so sweet and bubbly when I've been terrified of her for years.
I was like, she's so good in Deadly Class as an absolutely terrifying character, and the
Yeah.
engineer, as I know her, is also terrifying. So, like, to have her just be this like font of joy.
I also loved learning that she likes novellas and played in novellas.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like it seems like she likes playing those like big over the top horrible people.
Yeah.
It's like that's, it's sort of like the fun of being an actor, I think.
Yeah,
Just
and I-
being
I-
someone completely different.
It's like an
than
outlet
yourself.
to be that different mask of
Exactly.
rage.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like part of the genre specifically for novellas. Like their villains are so over the top and campy. It just meshes very well into comic books.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited to see how she plays the engineer.
And the few images I've seen are interesting because she's got this like badass undercut and she's like yoked, and then she
Yeah.
comes in like elegant and like fun and
And,
spirited.
yeah. And this sweet yellow dress,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
hanging. Yeah, that was an incredible interview, and I was blown away by how sweet she was. And it's the first character that I was like, oh yeah, they're acting, right?
Mm.
I feel like everyone else, I was like, this is Mr. Terrific. This
Right.
is Jimmy Olsen. I was like, I know that you can be the engineer because I saw you as Maria, but it's insane to picture you be anything but this like very sweet woman.
Right.
And it's a testament to what a great actor she is.
She came out looking like a Bond girl, and like then I'm going to see her like be this absolute machine, literally, of nanotechnology and weapons. and I can't wait. She seemed to really love the character too, and that's the kind of the theme of all these interviews. I'm always like, man, they get it.
Well, now it's time for our showcase spotlight. Tyler, what do you have for us today?
Well, continuing the Pride Month theme, I'm going to shout out one of my favorite documentaries of all time, which is Paris It's Burning by Jenny Livingston. I think it's from 1990, and it's about basically the Harlem drag ball culture that Black and Latin performers, trans women, drag performers. It's like, it really like, basically if you've seen Pose, it's the basis for Pose.
Yes.
And it is just, I've watched it so many times. It's such a great film.
Coy, what do you have for us?
Sticking with the Pride theme, DC Pride has been running for a few years. It's won Eisners, which are like the Oscars for comics. It's won Ringos, which are like a very specific art. One of my favorite artists of all time, Mike Ringo, passed away too young, and it's an artist award. So the Eisner and Ringo awards are both the pinnacle of comic awards, and Pride has won both. And this year's Pride comic is coming out, and it's different than Pride comics in the past, because in the past it was like an anthology book where you'd have like a chapter be this character and a chapter be this character, and they're trying something new with this one where it's different writers and artists with different characters, but it weaves into one long story. So I think it's a cool different take to have different artists and writers spotlight different characters, but to tell one different tapestry. So I'm excited to check this one out.
And I'm going to go with a Max property, House of the Dragon. I'm actually a huge Game of Thrones
That does
fan.
not surprise me.
Yeah, I read the books too, and Fire and Blood. But the main character, Rhaenyra Targaryen, is actually bi. And she has a great relationship, will they, won't they, with Alicent Hightower.
Okay.
They're rivals, but they were formerly, I don't want to say lovers, but it's clear they've always yearned for each other, which is very good. And honestly, their scenes together, the two actors, are phenomenal. It's some of the best acting you'll ever see. It's so packed with emotion. It's great. And the fashion in it is very well done.
All right.
Yes. Well, that was another incredible episode. But let me tell you all, you're going to want to join us in 2 weeks for our super special double stuff episode in the belly of the beast. We will be in the DC Studios office on the Warner Brothers lot to interview the one and only James Gunn. I cannot wait.
So excited.
But for everyone at home, be sure to catch new episodes of DC Studios Showcase every other Friday, anywhere that podcasts are available, or you can watch us on Max's YouTube, or on Spotify. You can watch us there and see our pretty faces.
And if you want to check out any of the comics we discussed today, check out DC Universe Infinite, which is DC's own online comic library. So many comics in there, so many wonderful stories. Please definitely check it out. And also, check out your local comic shop. You never know what you're going to find walking in there, and there's so much joy and adventure to be found in every comic shop, so check them out.
And if you enjoy listening to this podcast as much as we love making it, please leave us a good review. 5 stars. Nothing less.
And I know y'all have something to say, so please leave comments under Max's YouTube. And if you want to reach out to us directly, you can find me on all platforms at Fantastic Franky, Frankey.
I am Tyler Coates, obviously, on Blue Sky and Instagram.
And you can find me on YouTube and Instagram at Koijandro.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
This was an OBB sound production for Max and DC Studios, hosted by Frankie Smith, Tyler Coates, with comic correspondent Koijandro. Executive producers for DC Studios, Phil Soponides and Gary Barbosa. Executive producers for DC are Mike Pilata and Victor Diaz. The executive producer for Max is Becky Rowe. The producers for Max is Aaron Kelly. The executive producers for OBB are Michael Ratner, Scott Ratner, Arlen Konopacki, and Toby Lawless. Research producer Sam Harrison. Production manager Kevin Lynn, and the studio coordinator Elijah Matias. The director of photography Heath Gresham. The first assistant camera Chris Piper. The camera operator Ben Cohen. Gaffer Arthur Garcia. Key grip Sam Satoski. Key grip Matthew Seast. Key grip Alessandro Picasso. Production designer Francesca Maldonado. Set director Oscar Huezo. Lead man Camilo Castano. Sound mixer and editor Josh Falcon. On-set mixer Darren Bowling. Composer Ethan Walter of The Ringers. Post-production supervisor Mariana Chrysostomou. Editor Jesse Holland. Assistant editor Mark Alcacid. Hair and makeup artist Kendall Shannon. Director of Creative Development and Social Strategy Lenore Castro. Senior Coordinator Creative Development and Social Strategy Sharif Bukhari. Host coaching John Luce. Talent booker Tess Bartholomew. Production assistant Terry Kraft. Antonio Cavallo.